welcome back to the model bench. Quick little video just hello, welcome back to the model bench. This is just a little video to show my completed Titanic model. Finished it at last after the year. It took me about a year and a month. The biggest kit I've ever made. Really happy with it, how it turned out, so I thought I'd just show a quick little video showing the completed model, and also just give you some tips on, if you're only beginning your model, just some tips on, you know, things you can avoid, mistakes that I made, so it might be of help to some of you. So here is the model completed. So there we have the completed model. Yeah, really pleased with how it turned out. I only recently got this nameplate, just got it on Amazon, and what I did with the original stand is I filled in the there was a kind of recess there with the raised letter, so I filled all that in, sanded it all down. I added on these little rivet kind of details. Somebody in the group had recommended that, so I thought it was a great idea. So just have them on the stand, sprayed it all a kind of warm grey, and then just stuck on the nameplate. So really pleased with how that came out. I think it finishes it off really nicely. So that is my finished model. As I say, it's probably one of the biggest models I've ever built. And once you add on all the rigging, I think it really just finishes it off lovely. So and obviously I added all the people as well. So with this model, what I did was, it's basically the Trumpeter kit, and then I bought some China 3D parts. So the funnels are China 3D, the masts, a few other little bits, the front hatch, stuff like that. I also bought the brass propellers. This plating I did myself, but China 3D have a really nice one out there which just wasn't available when I had done mine, but I'm happy enough with this. It just, again, just adds a little bit more detail to the model. Yeah, so as I say, really pleased with how it turned out. Again, other little bits and pieces that I added to the model was these ropes here on these lifeboats, just the ropes going along on the top of the lifeboats, whether you can see them. Also these kind of white ropes going along here, I added them as well. Yeah, so just some of the things I would advise if you're only beginning your model, or even if you're, you know, halfway through or whatever. Just some things I would advise you to do that looking back, I kind of wish I had it done. So basically, when you're working on the main body, the main hull of the ship, I would try and do as much as this as possible. Things like the names, you know, I've usually thought I would leave a lot of that till later, thinking I would, you know, as I'm making the model, I would maybe damage them. But then you also have to think about the more stuff you have on the ship itself, the trickier it is to do stuff like this. So definitely, you know, paint on the name on the side, do the name on the back. So yeah, just kind of do as much as you can on the actual hull. You know, all these details here, I would get all them done, because it's obviously easier to move the hull around when you don't have a lot of the stuff on top. So just kind of, you know, maybe think about that, plan out that kind of stuff. And again, just leave some of the more delicate parts to last. But again, you know, some bits just obviously have to go in before you can do other parts, and then it makes it tricky. So yeah, I would just, you know, as they say, just plan and plan and plan as much as you can. Also watch other people's videos. A couple of YouTube channels that were really helpful to me. The model boat guy, Robbie, was just so invaluable. His videos are just really, really good. And they give a lot of tips, and his model's beautiful. And Robbie's just so helpful. I've reached out to him a couple of times and he's just so helpful. Love sharing knowledge, so I really appreciate his help. Also the Midwest model shop, Ben and Nora. Again, he's just finished his Titanic, and his videos are really helpful, so informative, really nicely done. So again, check out those two. I'll leave links down below. As you can see, I've added in all the little people as well. There maybe I might have people maybe where they wouldn't necessarily have been, you know, access to, but I'm happy enough. You know, sometimes you can overthink these things. There's a nice little scene I have there that's meant to be Father Brown, just with his little box camera taking a photo. And then this one here, that's actually the ship's band, but that's like a little model of my dad, just as a little tribute to him. And there he is observing. He plays the drums and loves music, so I thought it'd be really fitting to have him. Probably telling the guys, hey, you're playing that wrong. Yeah, and again with all the rigging, you know, do your research. You know, some rigging was you know, only done maybe when it was at sea, when it was at port. So I've kind of just went with rigging that I felt was kind of there all the time. And again, you can overthink these things, and you know, how accurate do you get? So I just did the rigging that I felt was the most appropriate, and left it at that. Same with the flags, because they literally had different flags for at sea, at port, and you know, different destinations. So again, just do your research, but you know, don't overthink these things. You can kind of get bogged down with too much detail, and you know, you begin to kind of I don't know, just suck some of the enjoyment out of making a model. If you're kind of really going for accuracy, kind of, you know, nothing is ever 100% perfect, so just enjoy it as much as you can. Same with this model. I can see mistakes on it. I can see some stuff, you know, that I would do differently. But, you know, for a model that took a year to build and of this scale and size, I'm more than happy with it. So I also have lights rigged up to it. So I just have this little remote control. So there we have the lights. And again, I could have probably done the lights so much better, you know. Some lights are kind of pretty good, other ones they're just not showing up great, but it looks good. That's probably my favourite light, is the little, I ran a little LED up the mast just for the rear navigation light. Love that. And then the little rear light at the back here. There's obviously a guy just attending to the flag. Yeah, so I probably could still do a few little touch-ups on it, you know, here and there, maybe just tweak some parts, but for the most part I'm calling it done. As I say, I'm just so delighted to get to the end. It's still in one piece. I think I said in one of the earlier videos, I did actually knock it over at one stage and it tipped over onto its side, and all of this section separated from the body, and I had all the lights, and I just thought, oh my god, like if there's any internal wires snapped or snagged and they don't work, there's no going back. So lucky enough, I just took my time, put it all back together. Even the bridge had broke. That's a China 3D bridge that had cracked, so I was able to put that back together and fix it. And yeah, like I say, I'm really pleased. It wasn't ruined. So that is my Titanic model. I appreciate everybody's comments and likes and, you know, interaction with me while I was building this model. I really hope some of it has been helpful, and that you've gained some kind of knowledge and tips that will help you with your build. And if you're not building it and you just enjoyed the videos for the entertainment, I really appreciate that too. I will be building some more models. Next model I'm building is the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, so if you're interested in seeing that, please follow me and I will be updating that. But for now, that is the 1/200 scale Trumpeter Titanic completed.